We want to start first with your full name, title, and company.
Tina James, HR Director at Synectic Solutions Incorporated.
Thank you. So what was your reason of pursuing CMMI, Tina?
For us, it definitely was a strategic initiative to sort of separate ourselves from other government contractors, especially in the world of ordinance handling. There are very few, if any, at all that do have any type of CMMI certification. So we understood that ISO is pretty much very common amongst most in this government contracting space. But CMMI would definitely be a differentiator for us, and that's why we really pursued it.
Okay. What kind of services did you get and in what timeline?
So we started off this endeavor with our IT manager that initially was going to sort of see this process through. That strategy didn't work out so well for us. So we did pivot to where I ended up taking over the initiative. So in terms of the services and how everything worked, we were sort of playing a lot of catch up with handing off of information or who was going to manage what. And with all the other things that we had going on as an organization, we definitely had some struggles with managing time and expectations and things like that. So a lot of the, I think, hiccups that we actually had were on our end with pretty much not preparing ourselves for what we needed to do in terms of the commitment of time. The support that we received, I think, was good for what we were looking to do. But I definitely think that starting over from the beginning when the team changed would have probably been beneficial for us.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah. I would also attest to that. When the point of contact changes, a person changes, you really want to start over because that will give you a very comprehensive look of every aspect and prep you better. Yes, I agree. So how do you describe your experience working with Sync Resource team?
So I think the experience was very good in terms of especially sharing of examples, best practices, having the weekly stand-up meetings where we can ask questions or go through things in real time. Things like that were very helpful for us here, just from us being able to prepare ourselves for all the things that needed to be done. I would definitely say the sync ups worked well. The feedback that we got on the things that we would submit for review, that worked pretty well for us too. And also you giving your time to, explain things or to step in to review items that we were struggling with. That was very helpful as well. I come from the other side of CMMI with working for companies that have already had the certification, never the implementation. So going through the implementation process was very educational for me as a sort of how we actually end up getting the certification and how we manage afterwards. So I think the learning process for me just working with you and Michelle was very positive.
Thank you much. And what kind of result did you achieve, the final results?
Final result was receiving our level 3 certification for services, which we were very happy about. I've been asking Scott lately if he has our certificate yet or anything else that we can add to our website. But the end result, even through the audit process, it was structured. Everything was on time. The appraisal team was great. So all in all, very positive process for a very positive outcome.
Amazing. I'm so glad. And for the opportunity as well. So would you be able to refer Sync Resource to any other companies or any company who's looking for similar services?
Absolutely. I think that you are looking for organizations to sort of help you. I don't think that Google is the right solution. I just think that sometimes you do have to ask, who others have worked with or what's worked best for them and for them in terms of any resources they utilize or companies or consultants that they work with in the past. So I do think that word of mouth holds a lot more weight than just, Googling who can actually help you do something, especially if you are unfamiliar with who the individuals are, who the company is.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you just from the standpoint of, because we are also a company who is always trying to improve, did your team prepare with some questions how to interview the selected company when you're looking for certifications?
We did not. And I'm not even sure how John, the initial individual that reached out to you guys, even found you guys.
Okay.
Because I can say we have worked with several other consultants along the lines of implementing quality, programs and things like that. So I'm not sure if you guys were even referred from one of them or an existing company that we work with or how you guys were even found in the first place.
Okay.
Because I came in way after the agreement had already been signed with Sync Resources.
Okay, absolutely. All right. That's about it. Those were the questions, Tina. I wasn't going to go away far from the conversation here. But any other feedback you have where you honestly think that we could have improved on?
No, I would just say it was an overall good experience. The only thing I would offer is, as team members change, just pretty much starting over from a clean slate is probably the best approach. Not knowing where one person may have left off or maybe what their level of understanding was about certain things. We got there eventually. We had so many changes on our end that sort of kept us from being on a much tighter timeline to accomplish what we wanted to in a shorter period of time. So it took much longer than we wanted, but we got there.
Yeah. And I'm so happy to also share with you, not to pivot too much, but one of our clients with the Dodge program, and CMMC is a competing priority. Some of our clients face this challenge and they had a person change too. People had to be let go and stuff. And having learned that lesson, what we were able to implement, and I personally am also doing this walkthrough for the new individual for all, 9 practice areas were done in this case. So I'm going through, walking them through all the 9 practice areas right now because I'm like, okay, you need it. I mean, because the appraiser can ask any question, and how would we know that if you had the knowledge transfer or whatnots, right?
Exactly.
So that can be really hard, but I think it was just this week on Wednesday I was able to reinstitute that aspect. So I'm so happy that you feel the same way.
Yeah.
Awesome.